EPC to examination date and everything. So actually, according to principal sir, we are supposed to complete portion by November 10th, which is not possible in my case. Okay, so we'll see how things work out. So according to sir, what he is saying is that from December 2nd, we are supposed to go for internship. Again, it's a big question mark. Okay, so we don't know actually to what extent. But anyways, as of now, November 10th, you will be having, now till November 10th, you will be having our classes. Then after that, you have your EPC2 practical exam, I suppose. I think you have come to know regarding this, isn't it? Because sir has...
Yes, ma'am.
Then 13, in the sense 10th, 11th, 12th, only 2 days you will be having, you have to go through that, I suppose, for that purpose. Then after Diwali, you will be having, what is that, EPC3 and EPC4. Okay. Then after EPC3 and EPC4, if everything goes on well, again we will be having our classes, because within that I cannot finish off my portion. It's highly impossible. Let me see how things work out. See, within 10th, this is hardly today, and 2 more days I will be getting. Then after that again, 10th, which is the day? 10th? 10th, which is the day? Is it Monday or Tuesday?
Tuesday, ma'am.
Tuesday, ma'am.
It's Tuesday, ma'am.
Okay. 13th, actually, I don't know how did they keep exam on 13th. That is...
13th is Thursday, ma'am.
Ma'am, it's Dhanteras on 13, ma'am.
Yeah, that's what.
Dhanteras, ma'am. We cannot have like exam also. It will be a problem.
Okay, we'll see. Okay. 13th ante, Thursday ante. So most probably you will be having 10th, 11th, 12th. So most probably 10th would be the last. Okay. I'll talk to sir today. Okay. After this I'll talk to you.
Ma'am, 13th Friday, ma'am.
Yeah, that's what. 13th Friday. Because 13th, 14th, Narak Chaturdasi and Amavasya Puja is on Saturday.
Kali Chaudas, ma'am. 14 Kali Chaudas, 13 Dhanteras, ma'am. It's literally not possible.
But I think they have mentioned 13th, na? In the, what is that in the message?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
We have exam.
Okay, I'll talk to you today. Okay? Now, shall I start with the third unit now? Supports and collaborations for inclusive education. Okay, already it's 3:15. Supports and collaborations for inclusive education. See, I said now I don't want to repeat the same thing, what is inclusive education and all. But what happens is that when you are running an inclusive institution, okay, or an organization, so it's not one person show, it's not what is that, one day show. See, in order to get the desired outcomes, in order to make the inclusive education successful, you should have proper support, and you should have proper resources, and also you should have proper collaborations with all the sources and the resources in and around the society. Okay, now here when it comes to this, see, when it comes to the real support exists when the recipient of support perceives that he or she has been helped. See, generally here I am talking about what type of support a child needs, what type of support a teacher needs, what type of resources the child requires, and what type of resources the teacher needs in order to facilitate proper education to the students. So all these things, see, I said even a teacher should be good. Okay, teacher should be good. She should have good subject knowledge. She should be creative. She should be innovative and everything. But apart from that, to have a successful inclusive education, she not only needs supports, but also she should have good collaboration with all the other things in and around the society. So generally, what type of see? I said that here I am not talking about the normal students. I am talking about the what is that? Disabled children, children with disabilities. Okay. So when I say that inclusive classroom or inclusive atmosphere, it means both the children with disabilities and children with non-disabilities. So what do you mean by generally support? చూడమ్మా ఇప్పుడు మీరు జనరల్లీ ఇప్పుడు మన నార్మల్ క్లాస్ లో కూడా when we happen to run a normal classroom, okay, normal school, we need to have proper support. What type of support we need? We need to have support from the family, we need to have support from the staff, we need to have support from the society, we need to have support from the other peer group. In the same manner, when we need so, and we should have, in order to have a successful education, in order to have a desired outcomes among all the students, even we need to have the proper resources so that we can give them the proper education or proper training. I am talking about the normal children. When we discuss about the inclusive school, that is inclusive education, here major focus would be on children with disabilities. It's a combination of both children with disabilities and children with non-disabilities. So, in order to have a successful inclusive education, or in order to have a successful inclusive school outcomes, in case if you want to have the desired outcomes, what type of support generally is required? Okay. They are actually demotivated. They do not have the the confidence in them. The first support given to the children with disabilities and to families with their children what I'm talking about the inclusive classroom. First support what we can give to students and the parents of disabled children is that even children with disabilities, okay, can have a normal life. Okay, their future is also good. That vision. What do you mean by vision generally? Tell me, what do you mean by vision? Anyone? Fast, make it fast.
Future outlook.
Yeah, definitely. It's a future outlook. So, that future outlook among the parents of the disabled children and among the disabled children should be inculcated by the teacher in such a way that they are going to have a good life. Okay? అంటే వాళ్ళ లైఫ్ కూడా చాలా బాగుంటుందని ఆ విజన్ ని మనం పేరెంట్స్ అండ్ చిల్డ్రన్ విత్ డిసబిలిటీస్ లో అది ఇన్కల్కేట్ చేయాలి. దట్ ఫీలింగ్. ఓకే. So what all the requirements and the support that are to be needed by the children should be given, okay, by students, families, and other team members, okay. And if at all any resources are required, if few more resources are required, then they have to be reallocated in such a way that they work out good for the children. Okay. And we are feeling asalu వాళ్ళు disabled ఉన్నారని, they are disabled, they have certain problem. That feeling should be completely taken away from the minds of the children, and they have to be what is that the confidence and the motivation from the teachers.
Ma'am, it's not audible.
Voice is breaking, ma'am.
See, there is some here network problem is there today. I don't know why. Now is it audible?
Yes, ma'am. Now it is audible.
Now, if it is not audible, just please respond. At least put a message. Okay. Because I continuously, if I keep on taking the class and in case if it is not audible, it's of no use. See, we are supposed to get the feeling among the disabled children in such a way that we have to inculcate that they are stars and the other members are nothing but the supporting actors. And Andy, what do you mean by this? Anyone, what do you mean by this?
Ma'am, repeat again.
Ma'am, it's again breaking, ma'am.
Oh dear. Wait. Now, just hold like this. I'll take in my phone. Shashank? Way that they are the stars and the other people in and around them are the supporting actors and the actresses. See, that is the real kind of support. Supporting is nothing but just taking help, giving a helping hand to complete the work, giving a helping hand to reach the goal. No, we have to support in such a way that they lead an independent life. They start thinking on their own. See, now here what happens? You can take a blind man and you can help him to cross the road. See, what happens? That is only the temporary one. But the blind man, we have to give the helping hand in such a way that even in your absence, he should be able to cross the road on his own. That type of support should be given to the students in an inclusive classroom. మీరు ఒక్కసారి వాళ్ళకి హెల్ప్ చేసి వాళ్ళ హోంవర్క్ కంప్లీట్ చేయడం కానీ వాళ్ళ అసైన్మెంట్స్ కంప్లీట్ చేయడం కానీ ఇన్ కేస్ ఇఫ్ యూ థింక్ దట్ బై హెల్పింగ్ దెమ్ టు కంప్లీట్ ద వర్క్ యు ఆర్ డూయింగ్ అ గుడ్ జాబ్. నో, అబ్సల్యూట్లీ నో. You have to help them by guiding them how to complete the work, not by making them to doing the homework on their. You do it on their behalf. That is not called helping. I mean to say that really, if you want to help disabled children, help them to complete the work on their own. That is the real support. If you do the work, if you do their work, and if you feel that you are helping, that is absolutely wrong. Such type of support, such type of helping hand is not required in place of the inclusive classroom. Okay. And we have to design the curriculum and the instructional materials and instructional methods and the learning experiences, keeping in view the disabled children in our mind. Okay. See, and apart from support is nothing but we have to take the feedback from the students, we have to take the feedback from the parents, we have to take the feedback from the peer group. How actually whatever the procedure, whatever the pattern we are following, are the disabled children able to follow or not? What happens is that sometimes, see, now I teach in the class. This is a normal classroom. I teach in the class. So what happens? I go in one method. I have a different perception. Generally, it so happens that if I go on teaching and without taking the feedback, there are chances that most of the students, they may not be able to follow my method. So in between, I give a cross check, I ask the questions, I take the feedback. In case if you don't understand, again I reteach. See, such type of attitude should be there in the classroom. So when I'm talking about the inclusive classroom, feedback should be taken from the team members, feedback should be taken from the parents in order to know what is happening in the class, whether the disabled children are able to follow or not. So that is the real support. Support అంటే వాళ్ళకి హోంవర్క్ కంప్లీట్ చేయడానికి హెల్ప్ చేయడం కానీ వాళ్ళకి ప్రాజెక్ట్ కంప్లీట్ చేయడానికి మీరు హెల్ప్ చేసి అంతా మీరు చేయడం అది సపోర్ట్ కానే కాదు. అది ఏమవుతుందంటే దానివల్ల వాళ్ళు ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ బికమింగ్ మోర్ ఇండిపెండెంట్ దే బికమ్ మోర్ డిపెండెంట్ ఆన్ యూ. So inclusive దీంట్లో we don't want such. We want them to make them independent. So the real support is guiding them, helping them, giving all the facilities and the resources so that they do the work on their own. That is called as the real help. Okay. Is it audible?
Yes, ma'am. Understood that.
See, improved student learning, providing enough information but not too much బీయింగ్ అరౌండ్ అండ్ అవైలబుల్, నాట్ టు సి అంటే ఏంటి ఇక్కడ సపోర్ట్ అంటే మనం ఎలా సపోర్ట్ చేయ ఇప్పుడు చిన్నపిల్లలు మనము ఇప్పుడు చూడమ్మా సి జనరల్ ఇప్పుడు మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ పేరెంట్స్ most of you people know okay you have siblings and all. See generally మన ఫీలింగ్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది, పేరెంట్స్ ఫీలింగ్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది, మన చిన్న పిల్లలకి మనం ఏంటంటే అబ్బా ఇఫ్ ఇన్ కేస్ ఇఫ్ యూ డూ ఇట్ we are so possessive that we never allow our kids to do the work on their own, isn't it? అది ఏంటది యాక్చువల్లీ అంటే మనం ఏంటంటే పిల్లల్ని మనము we want to see that they don't get hurt, they don't actually face any problems. So sometimes let me tell you as a parent and as your teacher, let me tell you, over possessiveness, over caring, okay, and giving what is that timely, in case if you keep on what is that helping your child, okay, helping your child, and it leads that the child or your kid becomes more dependent on you, and he will be nowhere having the practical knowledge how to face a problem or how to solve the problem. Do you agree this? Do you agree with this? What happened?
Yes ma'am.
అంటే ఇప్పుడు నేను చెప్పడం ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు నేను యాజ్ అ పేరెంట్ కూడా నేను చెప్తున్నాను, యాజ్ అ టీచర్ చెప్తున్నాను. మనం ఇప్పుడు మీరు నార్మల్ చిల్డ్రన్ గురించి నేను మాట్లాడేది కదా. మీకు యూ హ్యావ్ యువర్ ఓన్ కిడ్స్, యూ హ్యావ్ యువర్ ఓన్ సిబ్లింగ్స్. సమ్టైమ్స్ యూ పీపుల్ ఆర్ మోర్ పొసెసివ్ అబౌట్ యువర్ సిబ్లింగ్స్. మీ చెల్లెలు ఉండొచ్చు, మీ తమ్ముడు ఉండొచ్చు. సో మీరు ఏంటంటే వాళ్ళకు మై సిస్టర్ షుడ్ నాట్ ఫేస్ ఎనీ ప్రాబ్లమ్, మై బ్రదర్ షుడ్ నాట్ ఫేస్ ఎనీ ప్రాబ్లమ్, మై సన్ షుడ్ నాట్ ఫేస్ ఎనీ ప్రాబ్లమ్, మై డాటర్ షుడ్ నాట్ ఫేస్ ఎనీ ప్రాబ్లమ్ అని మీరు ఏం చేస్తారు? జనరల్లీ మనం ఏం చేస్తాము, ఇన్ ఆర్డర్ టు వాట్ ఇస్ దట్ keep them safe, we do the work on their own, we complete the work, we never actually involve them in completing the work, and their work also we do it. We feel that we are supporting, we are growing them in a proper way. But let me tell you, to some extent you have to guide our children. To some extent we have to show them the way, and then we have to tell them actually how the problem would be or what the problem is. Then afterwards just we have to give them the instructions, and they have to follow the instructions, and they have to face the problem on their own or solve the problem. So what happens, by guiding them after a certain stage, they come to know how to overcome the problem. Otherwise what happens, జనరలీ మనం చాలా పొసెసివ్ ఉండి పిల్లలకు మనం ఎక్స్పోజర్ ఇవ్వకపోతే ఏమవుతుందంటే అట్ ద ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ద డే వాళ్ళు ఎప్పుడైనా ప్రాబ్లమ్ సాల్వ్ చేయండి అన్నప్పుడు ఒక స్టేజ్ వచ్చిన తర్వాత వేర్ దే ఆర్ సపోజ్ టు సాల్వ్ ద ప్రాబ్లమ్ ఆన్ దేర్ ఓన్, but they will not have the exposure because all these days you have solved the problem on his behalf. So దానివల్ల ఏమవుతుంది, పిల్లలకి ఆ ప్రాక్టికల్ ఎలా ఆ ప్రాబ్లమ్ సాల్వ్ చేయాలి అనేది మనకు ఐడియా ఉండదు. సో అలాగే మనం అలాంటి సపోర్ట్ ఈవెన్ డిసేబుల్ చిల్డ్రన్ కి ఇవ్వద్దు. ఇనీషియల్లీ వాళ్ళకి మనం కొంచెం సపోర్ట్ చేయాలి. సపోర్ట్ చేసిన తర్వాత ఏంటంటే ఆ ప్రాబ్లమ్ ని ఎలా సాల్వ్ చేయాలి, దాని నుంచి ఎలా బయటికి రావాలని మనం ఒకసారి గైడ్ చేసిన తర్వాత వాళ్ళే దే హ్యావ్ టు సాల్వ్ ద ప్రాబ్లమ్ ఆన్ దేర్ ఓన్, బికాస్ త్రూఅవుట్ దేర్ లైఫ్ యూ విల్ నాట్ బి దేర్ టు హెల్ప్ దెమ్ అవుట్. They have to lead an independent life. So initially you should support them, you should encourage them, you should have to motivate them, you have to build confidence in them. That type of support is needed for the disabled children. They don't want the support that you do their work. No, that is not. Actually, if you do their work, then you are demotivating them, and they become quite independent. They become quite dependent on you. So that alante support avasram ledu. Did you get my point? What I mean to say? Please, I need response because I don't know whether it is audible or not. My net is so.
Yes, sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Now did you get my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes ma'am.
Okay. Now this is real support is, and what does support does not mean? See,
Ma'am, it's not audible, ma'am.
now is it audible?
Yes, ma'am, it's not. Now it's not.
ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటంటే నా బ్లూటూత్ పని చేయటం లేదు. ఓకే, కంప్లీట్లీ ఐ హ్యావ్ టు మేక్ డిఫరెంట్ పొజిషన్, ఐ హ్యావ్ టు బీ ఇన్ అ డిఫరెంట్. it audible?
Yes, ma'am.
The problem is that my kids, they are using the net like anything, but no one is there. Okay, fine. Okay. See, now support and now I have told you what do you mean by support. What do you mean by support does not mean? And is it audible, please?
Audible, madam.
Okay, fine. సపోర్ట్ అంటే ఏంటి అని నేను చెప్పాను. సపోర్ట్ అంటే ఏది కాదు అని నేను చెప్తున్నాను. చూడమ్మా, క్లాస్ రూమ్ లో మనం ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు నేను ఇన్ కేస్ ఇఫ్ ఐఎమ్ ద ఇన్ఛార్జ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్, పిల్లలకి మీరు ఇది చేయండి అది చేయండి, instruct now, this is the required goals I want. Okay, in case even if the teacher who is taking the class, only if she gives the instructions and if she does not give the instructions how to complete the task, then that is not the support. See, ఇప్పుడు మీకు సపోర్ట్ అంటే ఇప్పుడు మీకు ఒక ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఇచ్చిన తర్వాత యూ ఆర్ సపోజ్ టు డూ లైక్ దిస్, యూ ఆర్ సపోజ్ టు డూ లైక్ దిస్. ఇప్పుడు మీకు ఐసీటీ ఉంది, నెక్స్ట్ యాక్షన్ రీసెర్చ్ ఉంటుంది, అవన్నీ జస్ట్ మీకు ఎలా ఉంటుంది ఆ ప్రాజెక్ట్ అనేది ఏంటంటే ఆ ప్రాజెక్ట్ గురించి చెప్పేసి వాట్ ఈస్ ద ప్రాజెక్ట్ యాక్చువల్లీ, హౌ ఆర్ యూ సపోజ్ టు డూ అని నేను ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ ఇస్తే, okay, some students you may do it, I don't say that you can't do it, but few students actually who are not that good at grasping at that particular point, they have to be given more, they have to be given more information, and that is the support. ఇది నార్మల్ క్లాస్ రూమ్ గురించి నేను మాట్లాడింది. ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఇలాగే ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ నేను నా ఇన్క్లూజివ్ క్లాస్ రూమ్ లో ఇచ్చినప్పుడు, ఇప్పుడు నేను ఏదో ఒకటి ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఉంటుంది, ఆ ప్రాజెక్ట్ లో నేను
Ma'am, again it's not audible.
is it not audible?
Now it's clear, ma'am.
Oh, today I don't know, it's troubling me a lot. See, ఇది ఇన్క్లూజివ్ క్లాస్ రూమ్ when I'm talking about inclusive classroom, ఒక వాళ్ళకి ఏదైనా ఒక అసైన్మెంట్ ఇచ్చాను, ఒక ఏదైనా నేను టాస్క్ ఇచ్చాను అనుకోండి, just giving the instructions to complete the task is not the right kind of support. Okay, now here support does not mean telling the teacher what to do and the parents what to do. We are not supposed to tell them. That is not called the right kind of support. I said in case if I'm in a very good position in an inclusive institution, my support is not making the teacher giving the instruction what to do and what not to do. But my support would be to give them all the resources, to give them all the facilities, so that it would be easy for the family and it would be easy for the teacher to complete the task. Okay, and see, okay, we are see, as a, in case if I have been given a chance, I should give a support to the children but not over support. Just now I gave you an example that just by giving more support to the disabled children, actually that doesn't come under the support. That is called, actually you are demotivating them and you are making the students to lose their confidence, because in future whenever they happen to face a problem, then in case if they don't get the right kind of support, then they get demotivated. So students with the disabilities should be supported in such a way that the support should be minimum. Over support by the family members or by the teachers, it makes them lose their confidence. Okay, they will not have that the dependency feeling among the children would be more if we try to support them, or if we are very possessive about them. So this is what actually now. So here now see, ఇప్పుడు ఏంటంటే ఇక్కడ మనము if I am been నేను ఇప్పుడు in case if I have the headmistress or the principal of a school, I should not give the support, I should not give the instructions to the teacher, I should not give the task to the disabled children. అంటే ఏంటి, నేను వాళ్ళకి సపోర్ట్, నేను టీచర్స్ కి ఏం చేయాలి, ఏం చేయొద్దు, ఏం అసైన్మెంట్ చేయాలి, all those things, instead of giving them the instructions and instead of interfering in the work, that is not called as the support. Real support would be even asking the teacher what kind of facilities does she need, what kind of resources she needs, what are the strength and the weakness of the students, still what should be given more, so that the teachers so that the students attain the success, the desired outcomes among the children would be good, or all the children would be able to reach the goal. So that is called as a real support. Now did you understand actually what support means and what support does not mean? Any one of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
సపోర్ట్ అంటే ఏంటి? ఇప్పుడు నేను ఆల్రెడీ అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఎక్కువగా మనం పిల్లల్ని చాలా పొసెసివ్ చేసామంటే మనం అనుకుంటాము మన పిల్లల్ని మనం చాలా బాగా చూసుకుంటున్నాము, ఏంటంటే ఇంతవరకు వాళ్ళు ఒక్క ప్రాబ్లం ఫేస్ చేయలేదు, కానీ అది సపోర్ట్ కాదు. ఇన్ ఫ్యూచర్ యు ఆర్ క్రియేటింగ్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఫర్ యువర్ కిడ్స్. దిస్ ఐఎమ్ టెల్లింగ్ యూ from the parents' point of view, from the teacher's point of view. Don't be over possessive about your kids. You have to be possessive to some extent. You should help them to some extent, and after that you give them the exposure that in such a way that when they happen to face a problem, they should be in a position to face the problem on their own without in your support. That is becoming independent. Otherwise, most of the children, they are so dependent on their parents that whenever they happen to face any problem, they look in and around so that someone will come and help them out of that problem. Alanti situation manam pillallo create cheyaddu, alanti dependency manamu pillalki ivvadu. ఒక లెవెల్ వరకు 5 years 10 years వరకు మనం we are supposed to give them all the guidance, we have to give them the helping hand, but after that slowly we have to leave them so that they come to know how to face the problem on their own. So this is for the normal children. The same thing for the disabled children. Support అంటే వాళ్ళకు గైడ్ చేయాలి, వాళ్ళకి ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ ఇవ్వాలి, కానీ ప్రతి వాళ్ళ ప్రాబ్లం మనం ఏంటంటే మన ప్రాబ్లం సాల్వ్ ఓవర్ చేయడం ఇస్ నాట్ ద సపోర్ట్. ఇనిషియల్లీ ఎలా చేయాలని వాళ్ళ గైడ్ చేయాలి, దెన్ ఆఫ్టర్ దట్ ద రెస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద థింగ్ దే ఆర్ సపోజ్ టు డూ ద వర్క్ ఆన్ దేర్ ఓన్. సో దాని వల్ల 2 advantages ఏంటంటే దే బికమ్ క్వైట్ ఇండిపెండెంట్, దట్ వాట్ ఇస్ దట్ దే గెయిన్ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ దట్ yeah they can do something in their life. That feeling among the disabled children that they can do something in their life will actually make them to lead a very happy life. Otherwise that disability factor అనేది మనం ఏంటంటే మనం హెల్ప్ చేస్తున్నాము అనే ఫీలింగ్, ఎవ్రీ టైమ్ ఐ నీడ్ సమ్వన్స్ హెల్ప్ మీన్స్ అంటే ఏంటి, since I am disabled I have supposed to take help from others, so that feeling should be taken away from the children. సో అందుకని వాళ్ళకి ఒక లెవెల్ లో సపోర్ట్ చేసి మిగతాది they are supposed to do on their. This is the support we need. Okay, this is the support the disabled children need, not the you do their work and if you have a feeling that you are supporting them. No, you are not supporting them. Actually you are demotivating them, you are taking away the confidence from them. You actually have to inculcate confidence in them, you have to motivate in them. How? By supporting to some extent, then afterwards guiding them. You do like this, you do like that. So if they do on their own, what happens? That is a real support. When they complete the task, that will boost the confidence and they get a feeling that yeah, even I am independent, I can lead an independent life. This is what support and does. What is that? Support and non-support. Okay, did you understand? Please, you have to give response because this is the first time I am taking through phone. Followed?
Yes, ma'am. Got it.
Yes, ma'am. See, in no support, there are many types of support. First one is the resource support. The second one is the moral support. The third one is the technical support. And the fourth one is the evaluation support. Okay. When I am talking about the resource support, so what do you mean by support? See, do you need support? Do you need support?
Yes, ma'am.
Now you are supposed to write. Now the thing is that in case if you don't understand anything about ICT or you don't understand anything about the action research, to what extent will tell you? We tell them to what is that? You take the information from net. You are supposed to do like this. You are supposed to do like that. Now that is the support. But most of the children, what they expect, ma'am, you give the last year's book, ma'am. That would be easy for us. See, as a teacher, if I give them, I am not supporting them. Say yes or no?
Yes,
Say
ma'am.
yes or
Yes, ma'am.
You people now, I don't, you means not you, most of the children, most of the students, they actually, in order to complete any project, in order to complete any of the tasks given by them, generally, see, if we guide them, if we support them, that is not sufficient for them. Then what is the thing they ask? They ask, sir or ma'am, whatever it may be, will you give the previous year's record, so that for reference. So, and few students generally they take the record. And here what happens is that students, just by taking the guidance from us, when they complete the work, they are going to get more practical knowledge, and they are going to come to know actually what sort of problems they have faced in completing the task. So that facing the problems and overcoming the problems will help them in the future. And the students, those who are just by seeing the previous year's records or anything, for example, anything, as it is when they write, practically they will have zero knowledge. వాళ్ళు నెట్లో ఎలా చేశారని, how did they gather the information? In gathering the information through net, you happen to gain more and more knowledge. So what happens? You complete the work. Okay, I don't say that you don't complete the work, but the student, those who have completed the work on their own, will have more exposure, will have more practical knowledge rather than the student who has taken the record and who has completed the work. Do you accept it or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
అంటే ఇప్పుడు మీకు అంటే సపోర్ట్ అనేది ఒక లెవెల్లో సపోర్ట్ చేస్తే ఏమవుతుందంటే, ఆ సపోర్ట్ యూ కంప్లీట్ యువర్ టాస్క్. మనం ఓవర్ సపోర్ట్ చేశామంటే the confidence among the children will be demotivated, and the dependency factor will be more among the students. So as a teacher, as a parent, we are not supposed to do that. Okay, now next time whenever we have a reflective reading, you have the amma and ar, so please don't ask the records. Understood? Say yes or no.
Okay, ma'am. Okay,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
ఓకే, సో ఏంటంటే యాజ్ అ టీచర్ ఇప్పుడు ఏంటంటే, అబ్బా పిల్లలకి ఎలా రాస్తారో రికార్డ్, మనం వీ విల్ బి వెరీ దట్ క్యూరియాసిటీ విల్ బి మోర్ అండ్ anxiety factor will be more among the lecturers. Okay, so generally in order to make the students write in a proper way, what generally we don't have that much of patience. So generally what we actually, in order to get things done in the right time, in the right place, we give you the records, so that just by going through the records, you come to know how to write the record. The same thing, as a lecturer, I have to tell you, this is the pattern, you are supposed to do like this, you are supposed to do like that. With that actually guidance what I give, if you take that guidance and if you do the work on your own, that knowledge would be different. But when I give you the record and when I ask you to refer the record and you should have an idea, so there what happens, 50% of the knowledge actually you people are losing it, because completely you have మీరే సెల్ఫ్ రాసేటప్పుడు మీ పర్సెప్షన్ వేరే ఉంటుంది, దెన్ వాట్ ఇస్ దట్, యూ హ్యావ్ అ డిఫరెంట్ ఐడియా రిగార్డింగ్ ద రికార్డ్ అండ్ యూ కమ్ అవుట్. ఓకే, కానీ దట్ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ వీ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ అమాంగ్ ద స్టూడెంట్స్. So what we do, in order to be on the safer side, we give the record, say this is the pattern you have to do, మీరు ఇలా రాసేయండి అంటే మీరు సెల్ఫ్ గా మీరు ఏదైనా ఆలోచించాలనుకున్నా, we are not giving the scope. Do you accept it or not? Say so, no.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఏది రికార్డ్ ఉండని మేము ఏం చేస్తాము, గైడెన్స్ ఇచ్చి ఇలా రాయాలి, ఇది ఇండెక్స్ ఇలా ఉంటుంది, ఇలా కంటెంట్ ఇలా ఉంది, ఇలా రాయాలి అని చెప్పి we don't leave. మనం ఏం చేస్తాం, టు బి ఆన్ ద లెక్చర్స్, టు బి ఆన్ ద సేఫ్ సైడ్, వాట్ వి డూ, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒక శాంపుల్ అని ఒక రికార్డ్ ఇస్తాం. దట్ శాంపుల్ ఇస్ నథింగ్ బట్ ద ప్రింటింగ్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ ద అదర్ రికార్డ్స్, isn't it? So that actually, even that support, we are not, so as a lecturer we are not supposed to give it to the students, because when we give, for example, when we give one record, oka example ni ichina tarvata, the same thing you people have, ma'am is expecting the record in this manner, ma'am is expecting the record in this manner, that feeling will be there in you, and you don't come out with the other ideas, you don't come out with your different way of, me perception maripotundi, me perception em untundo, that will not be there in the record. Your perception will be from the record point of view what I have given you. Did you get my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. We got it.
Okay. Now, okay. For example, I'll show you a flower. How is that flower? If I ask you, I'll get different answers. See that flower? The petals are very small, okay, and they are uneven. Ala annappudu, what happens is that every student will think in the same manner what I have said. Say yes or no. Make it fast.
Yes, ma'am.
So, look at the flower. Give your opinion. I get different opinions from different students. There I am not supposed to. What happens here? You start thinking. When I say, look at the flower, look at the petals, look at the color and everything. See, they are so small, they are so beautiful. మీరు ఏం చేస్తారంటే మీరు అదే పర్సెప్షన్ తో మ్యామ్ ఇలా చెప్పింది మీరు అలాగే ఆలోచిస్తారు. మీకు సెల్ఫ్ ఏదున్నా యూ పీపుల్ విల్ నాట్ కమ్ అవుట్ విత్ దట్. యూ ట్రై టు సే ఎస్ వాట్ ఐ హ్యావ్ సే. సో దీనివల్ల ఏమవుతుందంటే యూ స్టార్ట్ థింకింగ్ ఇన్ మై వే. సో దిస్ ఈస్ వాట్ వీ నెవర్ దిస్ ఈస్ వాట్ వీఆర్ నాట్ సపోజ్ టు డూ. We are supposed to give an independent thinking to the students. This is what, as a teacher, when you happen to be teacher of an inclusive institution, you support the disabled children to some extent. Don't over support them. If you over support them, that is not called as a support. Okay. Now, forget about this. Now, what are the types of support we have? Resource support, moral support, technical support, and the evaluation support. What do you mean by resource support? Resource support is nothing but what are the different types of resources we have? See, generally resources ante entante we have lab equipments, okay, computer system, okay, funds, community experiences, then informational resources, professional human resources, instructional, so peer. So entante resources support is nothing but in order to complete the task, in order to complete the given task, or in order to make the disabled children reach the goal, there should be a proper resources. What type of resources? It may be the community support, it may be the financial support, it may be the peer support, it may be the faculty support, it may be the the lab, okay, system, equipment support, okay. Now here you have the financial support, okay, material support, informational support. Informational support is nothing but the professional literature or lecture given by. And when I am talking about this inclusive, resources support are nothing but it may be the material support, it may be the financial support, it may be the technical, it may be the peer support, it may be the equipment support. So these are the resources, these are the supports the inclusive institution should have in order to have a successful inclusive education. Okay, this is the resource support. Okay, so for example, in case resources are not there, so what happens? The children with disabilities, they tend to face different types of problems. So for example, now physically handicapped children will be there. Proper physical resources, and if they are not given, if there are no proper facilities, passages, washrooms, desk, lighting, and all the classrooms should be good. So అలాంటివన్నీ resources మనము వాళ్ళకి facilities ఇవ్వకపోతే, so what happens? The disability factor among the child will be felt more if we don't give them the proper facilities. And this should not be there in case of the inclusive classroom. Okay, moral support. So what do you mean by moral support? Generally, what do you mean by moral support?
Ethics and values, ma'am.
See, moral support is nothing but motivating the children, by encouraging the students, inculcating confidence among the students. And let me tell you, see, సపోర్ట్ అంటే ఎలా ఉంటుందంటే, ఇప్పుడు నార్మల్ గా మీరు ఎవరైనా మీరు జనరలీ ఏమవుతుందంటే, ఇఫ్ వీఆర్ వెరీ పొసెసివ్ అబౌట్ ద చైల్డ్, మనం ఏం చేస్తాము, తప్పు చేసినా సర్లే ఏం కాదు, దట్ ఫీలింగ్ వీ హ్యావ్. Okay, and we try to just ignore the mistake done by a particular person in order to support that particular person. Did you get my point? Here, see.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
పిల్లలు తప్పు చేస్తే మనం ఏం చేస్తాము, యాజ్ అ పేరెంట్ మనం ఏం చేస్తాము, ఏదైనా క్లాస్ రూమ్ ఉండని ఏదైనా ఉండని మనం ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు, అంటే ఇఫ్ యూ ఆర్ వెరీ పొసెసివ్ అబౌట్ ద చైల్డ్, మనం ఏం చేస్తామంటే ఏదైనా తప్పు చేసినా మనం ఏం చేస్తాము, వి ఇగ్నోర్ దట్ అండ్ at times what happens, by supporting in that manner, the child will never feel that he is committing a mistake and he keeps on repeating the same thing. That is not the support we need. That is not the support we are supposed to give to the children. We are supposed to support them in such a way that if one time they do a particular thing wrong, we have to support them by telling them that this is the thing you have done wrong. Next time you are not supposed to repeat it. That is the support the child has to be given by the parent or by the teacher or whoever it may be. Okay, understood? ఎవరైనా తప్పు చేస్తే మనం వాళ్ళని ఆ సపోర్ట్ అంటే ఏంటి, తప్పు చేసిన దానికి మీరు అన్నది ఏం తప్పు లేదు అని మీరు వాళ్ళకి సపోర్ట్ చేశారంటే ఏమవుతుందంటే at the end of the day the child will not come to know that he is doing a mistake and it leads to many problems in his future. So that is not the moral support you need. If the child needs some what is that support, ఇప్పుడు for now inclusive classroom లో ఏంటంటే moral support is nothing but interacting with the child. Okay, normal children interacting with the disabled children, sharing their experiences, building confidence among the disabled children. And let me tell you, initially if the disabled children, if they commit some mistake, first time you are supposed to guide them, and the second time you should tell them that this is the thing you have done wrong. Since they are disabled, even if they do something wrong, if you say that no, it's okay, you can continue, the disabled children will not come to know that they are doing wrong. ఆ సపోర్ట్ అవసరం లేదు వాళ్ళకు, మీరు వాళ్ళని మిస్గైడ్ చేసినట్లు. Did you get my point, what I mean to say?
Yes, ma'am. We are getting it, ma'am.
You now, any one of you tell me actually what do you mean by moral support?
And we should guide them properly. First time we can help them, but second time when they are doing a mistake, we should guide them. We should tell them in a positive way that whatever thing you are doing, it is wrong. Try to correct it. You can do in this way.
Yeah. See, you have to appreciate them. You have to praise them. Okay. You have to build confidence in them. And at the same time, if they have done something wrong or if they are doing something wrong, you should criticize them. You should tell them that this is not the right way to do. So this is called as the moral support. Understood? Moral support is a support to build confidence, to build to develop the independent feeling among the children, to motivate them, but at the same time, initially if they do something wrong, guide them that this is not the way to do it, and if they repeat it, then you have to criticize them. And even sometimes you have to appreciate if the disabled children criticizes you. అంటే ఇప్పుడు నేను మాట్లాడుతున్నాను, మీరు మాట్లాడుతున్నారు, no ma'am, this is not done like ma'am, this is not the way ma'am, this is no ma'am. So what happens at that time when you people say no ma'am, how is it possible ma'am, no, this is not done ma'am. So see, here as a teacher I should feel happy that you people are counter questions అడుగుతున్నారని కాదు, కానీ you are able to think in a broader way. Did you get my point? See, ఇప్పుడు నేను మీకు ఏదైనా ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేసేటప్పుడు మీరు నేను ఎంత ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తున్నానో దాని లోపల క్వశ్చన్స్ అడగకుండా మీరు హౌ ఇస్ ఇట్ పాసిబుల్ మ్యామ్, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ యూ టేక్ దిస్ మ్యామ్, హౌ ఇస్ ఇట్ పాసిబుల్, యూ టెల్ దిస్ మ్యామ్, యూ టెల్ దట్ మ్యామ్. అంటే మీరు ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే వాట్ ఐఎమ్ టెల్లింగ్ యూ, not only you're thinking about that, but also you're thinking it in a broader way. It means that you are going in depth in the concept. So same thing when the speaker and the disabled children. Speaker is nothing but it may be the teacher or it may be the normal children when they interact with the disabled children. So if the disabled children, if they ask some counter questions to the teacher or to the speaker should feel very happy because the child has started thinking on his own. He is thinking something beyond the limit. And out of the box he is thinking, and that feeling itself is more than sufficient for the speaker or for the teacher or whoever it may be to think that they are thinking independently. మీరు నేను చెప్పింది మీరు వాట్ ఐ సే ఇఫ్ యూ థింక్ ఇన్ ద సేమ్ మేనర్ దట్ ఈస్ నాట్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ ద ఇండిపెండెంట్ థింకింగ్. యూ హ్యావ్ టు థింక్, బట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు థింక్ how is it possible, when is it possible, where is it possible. If you start thinking in that way, then that is called as the independent thinking. Just by listening to me and if you nod your head, no, that is not called listening. You have to listen in such a way that this question should go on, whoever it may be my class, any other class. ఏదైనా ఎవరైనా ఏదైనా చెప్పినప్పుడు యాజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ గా యాక్సెప్ట్ చేయకండి. యాక్సెప్ట్ చేస్తే you people are passive listeners. Don't try to accept the things as they have been given to you. What should linger in your mind? How is it possible? When is it possible? Where is it possible? Then when you come to know when that matches with what the speaker is saying, then you understand the concept in a better way. Do you agree?
Yes, ma'am. Critical thinking, ma'am.
ఎలా అవుతుంది? దట్స్ వాట్. అంటే ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఏదైనా ఇప్పుడు ఎవరైనా ఏదన్నప్పుడు లైక్ ఏ బఫూన్ ఇఫ్ యూ నాట్ యువర్ హెడ్, యా ఐ విల్ డూ ఇట్. How is it possible? Why should I do it? When should I do it? ఇవన్నీ మీరు ఆలోచిస్తే then you become very practical in your life. You don't face problems. Let me tell you. Okay. Now the third one is the technical support. Technical support is nothing but giving teacher all the things that are required, the instruction materials, instructional approaches, strategies, then resources, then what is the teaching strategies, idea. And sometimes what happens, sometimes it so happens that the teachers will be provided with the journal, okay, then the strategies, then approaches, what type of approaches should be given, should be taken by the teacher in order to teach the disabled children. Then sometimes in service coaching will be given, in service teaching will be given, okay, and even then staff development activities will be there, okay, and it provides the recipient with skills that can be implemented, adjusted. Here technical support is nothing but giving all the facilities to the person with here teacher will be given concrete strategies, methods, approaches or ideas, providing a teacher with a journal article on instructional methods in the form of resource support. Okay, so like the teacher's handbook will be there. In the teacher, see, journal is nothing but where all the material will be there, how to teach, what type of strategies, what type of techniques, what type of material should be used, and what type of generally learning experiences should be provided to the children. All these things, and sometimes even the additional staff even activities will be there, in service programs will be there. All these things, why all these things should be provided to the teachers? Because the teachers, they will not be having the update idea regarding how to teach the children with disabilities. So referring that journal and attending the seminars, attending the workshops, then going for their in-service training will help them to deal the children with disabilities in a better way. This is called as the technical support. Did you follow? Say yes or no?
They follow, ma'am.
See, what do you mean by evaluation support? What do you mean by evaluation?
Grading, ranking someone, ma'am. Grading or ranking.
Judgment, ma'am.
Yeah, judgment, overall judgment. Here judgment ante, say generally just don't evaluate or don't assess the child only through grades. That is not the final thing. Assessment అనేది, for example, see, CC, why it has come into force? Because previously the child's performance was assessed only on paper pencil test. No, that is not the way. Because here overall development అనేది, there will be no scope for the overall development. So for that purpose, CC has come into force. the implementation of CC is nothing but to have the overall development among children. So here, when we are giving the, when I am talking about the different types of support, what are the different types of support? Just now we have discussed. I have discussed about the resource support, moral support, technical support, and the evaluation support. See, generally what happens here, we are not supposed to assess the child based on only the required outcomes. What you expect from the child, don't assess only on that. Don't assess only on that. You have to even think about the different areas he has to cover. Okay. Now here refers to the assistant in determining the impact of support on students, families, and the professionals. The scope of evaluation should extend beyond acquisition of specific targeted skills by students to include outcomes of the educational experiences on the. See, you are not supposed to assess the performance of the child only based on the outcomes of the educational target. You have educational goals. Okay, don't assess. అంటే మనం ఇక్కడ పిల్లల్ని జనరల్లీ మీకు మార్క్స్ వచ్చిన తర్వాత based on that highly what is that active student in the class, a child who is good at giving answers, okay, a child who knows the concept well may not be able to perform in the exam well. So based on the performance of the child during the examination, the child should not be assessed. During this course of time, what other skills the child has acquired? Ikkada acquisition of only some skills does not, you cannot assess the performance of the child. Overall చూసుకోవాలి. Don't assess the child only on paper pencil test. You have to see what type of other skills. A child who is very good at academics may not be good in the other skills. Okay, so a child, for the overall development of the child, you cannot evaluate the child's performance only on the paper pencil. And in case if the task, if any goal is there, if that goal is accomplished by a student, then only that student is good, the other students are not that good. Don't come to that conclusion, because in the completion of the course, many students may have acquired different types of skills. Overall development of the child should be given importance rather than the paper pencil test performance. Did you get my point?
Ma'am, this is only for this inclusive also we should go with overall development, ma'am.
ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే ఇంక్లూజివ్ లో ఏంటంటే మీరు ఎవాల్యుయేషన్ సపోర్ట్ అంటే ఇప్పుడు నేను ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే ఇంక్లూజివ్ గురించి చెప్తున్నాను. ఓకే, ఓన్లీ అబౌట్ ఇంక్లూజివ్. ఇక్కడ when I'm telling evaluation process support is nothing but to check. మీరు ఏం చెక్ చేస్తారు ఇక్కడ ఏం చెక్ చేస్తారు? ఇంక్లూజివ్ స్టూడెంట్స్ లో, ఇప్పుడు డిసేబుల్ చిల్డ్రన్ లో మీరు ఏం చెక్ చేస్తారు? నార్మల్ చిల్డ్రన్ లో అయితే మనం ఏం నౌ సి నార్మల్ చిల్డ్రన్ లో మీరు ఏం చేస్తారు? ఇక్కడ మనం ఏం చేస్తాం, వాళ్ళ పేపర్ పెన్సిల్ టెస్ట్ అంటే వాళ్ళు మార్క్స్ ని వాళ్ళ మిగతా స్కిల్స్ ని టెస్ట్ చేస్తాము. తర్వాత ఏంటంటే వాళ్ళ బిహేవియర్ అవన్నీ ఓకే, అవి అదేం నార్మల్ స్టూడెంట్స్ లో మనం అసెస్ చేయడం చాలా ఈజీ. ఇట్ వుడ్ బి వెరీ ఈజీ ఫర్ us టు అసెస్ ద నార్మల్ చైల్డ్స్ పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ ఇన్ every area, because we generally we have seminars, listening skill, speaking skill, reading skill, writing skill, then paper pencil skill, critical thinking skills. Even we have different areas where we can check but to what extent the child is good. Okay, easy, it is very easy, okay, for the normal for the teacher to assess the performance of the child, of the normal children in every area. Okay, that is for the normal children. But when I am talking about the children with disabilities, evaluation support ante ikkada em untundante, just pay attention. Evaluation support is, you don't have to evaluate the child, child's performance just by whether he has reached that task or not. Ikkada adi evaluation support kaadu. Ikkada evaluation support ante enti, to what about the parents, what about the family members? Okay, you have to take the feedback. Did you get my point? Evaluation support is nothing but you have to take the feedback from the family, from the society, from the students. What is that, the attitude, behavior, you are supposed to check it. That is the evaluation support. Here, like normal children, how we give tasks to the normal children, the same task will not be given to the disabled children. మీరు ఇక్కడ evaluation process for the normal children would be different. Whereas here, what type of support you are giving? Evaluation support is nothing but taking the feedback. అంటే ఏంటి? పేరెంట్స్ నుంచి ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ తీసుకుంటారు, డిఫరెంట్ ఫ్యామిలీస్ నుంచి ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ తీసుకుంటారు, మీరు సొసైటీ నుంచి ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ తీసుకుంటారు. అబౌట్ వాట్ Did you get my point actually here?
About improvement of the student, ma'am, child.
అంటే ఇక్కడ మీరు ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ ఫ్యామిలీస్ కి ఎలా అనిపిస్తుంది మీకు అంటే evaluation support is nothing but taking the feedback, the thinking, whether the perception of the parents of the disabled children has changed or not, or what are they expecting, what is the thing they want from us. So this is what the evaluation support is. Did you get my point? ఇక్కడ పేపర్ పెన్సిల్ టెస్ట్ ఎవాల్యుయేషన్ సపోర్ట్ అంటే మనం ఇప్పుడు ఎవాల్యుయేషన్ అంటే మనం ఏంటి టేకింగ్ ద ఫీడ్బ్యాక్. జనరల్లీ ఎవాల్యుయేషన్ అంటే మీకు ఏం ఐడియా ఉంటుంది ఆ పేపర్ పెన్సిల్ టెస్ట్ లో వెదర్ ద లెర్నింగ్ వెదర్ ద డిజైర్డ్ అవుట్కమ్స్ హావ్ బీన్ అచీవ్డ్ బై ద స్టూడెంట్స్ ఆర్ నాట్, వెదర్ ద టీచింగ్ స్ట్రాటజీస్ హావ్ వర్క్డ్ ఆర్ నాట్. That is generally for the normal children when they are going for this paper pencil test and everything. But here I am talking about the evaluation support. Evaluation support is nothing but what type of evaluation support ante taking feedback from the parents, taking feedback from the students, okay, and taking feedback from the other people, okay. What are they expecting, what do they want, ఇంకా ఏంటి ఫీడ్బ్యాక్, టేకింగ్ ఫీడ్బ్యాక్. బాబా అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఇంతవరకు మీరు ఏం చేశారు, ఇంకా ఏం ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు, ఇంకా ఎలా ఉంటే బాగుంటుంది. దిస్ ఈస్ వాట్ ద ఎవాల్యుయేషన్ సపోర్ట్ ఈస్. డిడ్ యూ గెట్ మై పాయింట్? ఇఫ్ యూ హావ్ నాట్ ఫాలోడ్ దిస్ evaluation support is nothing but taking feedback from the students, from the families, from the other staff members, regarding the behavior, attitude and the attainment of the skills by the students, what type of still what is the thing the parents are expecting, and what do they want, how they want. Ivanni entante this is nothing but we are support ante evaluation support is nothing but taking feedback from every member who is related to the children. One way or the other way they are related to the disabled children. Okay, this is called as the evaluation support. Okay, you tell me what do you mean by stakeholders?
Like management and the school authorities to whom we are answerable, the teachers. Even parents
Okay.
are stakeholders, ma'am.
Everyone will be the stakeholder, the society, the member, everyone in and around where we are staying will be the stakeholders. For generally what happens is that when it comes to the school, when it comes to the students, who all will be the stakeholders? The teachers, the management, the staff, and who else will be the stakeholders?
Even the students, parents.
Yeah, everyone will be the stakeholders. And who in and around who will be associated with the child. Okay, they will be the stakeholders. Okay, now here stakeholders now did you understand the support today what we have discussed? Did you follow or not?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
మీకు ఇప్పుడు సపోర్ట్ అంటే ఏంటి నాకు ఒకటి వాట్ యు మీన్ బై సపోర్ట్ అండ్ వాట్ యు మీన్ బై నాన్ సపోర్ట్? యు టెల్ మీ.
Support means giving not to give the total support, and just giving guidelines how to do, what to do and how to do. అంటే వాళ్ళకి మొత్తం సపోర్ట్ అంటే ఇలానే చెయ్యండి అని చెప్పకుండా జస్ట్ యు జస్ట్ టేక్ దీస్ పాయింట్స్ అని జస్ట్ గైడెన్స్ ఇవ్వడం మ్యామ్.
మనం ఓవర్ గా వాళ్ళకి చెప్తే ఏమవుతుంది, దాని వల్ల ఏమవుతుంది?
They will become passive learners, ma'am.
Dependent, ma'am.
They become dependent. Okay, fine. అంటే ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళకి ఉట్టిగా మనం ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ ఇవ్వాలి. మనకు ఓవర్ సపోర్ట్ కూడా ఒక లిమిట్ లో సపోర్ట్ యు ఆర్ సపోజ్ టు సపోర్ట్ టు సమ్ ఎక్స్టెంట్. ఓవర్ సపోర్ట్ is not called support. That is nothing but that is non-support. Support to some extent is called as support, and if you over support, that doesn't come under support. అర్థం కాలే?
Yes, ma'am.
ఏదైనా
Yes, ma'am, got it. Ma'am, do not support is letting children gain their confidence and prove their potential and
That's
giving
what-
practical exposure.
So, and especially when we are dealing with inclusive children, over support will make them to realize their disability factor more rather than feeling of joy. మనకెవరైనా నార్మల్ గా మనకెవరైనా హెల్ప్ చేస్తుంటే మనం వి ఫీల్ హ్యాపీ అబ్బా నాకు హెల్ప్ చేస్తున్నారని. ఎవరైనా ఎక్కువ హెల్ప్ చేసినా పర్వాలేదు, మనం వి టేక్ ఇట్. కానీ డిసేబుల్ చిల్డ్రన్ లో ఎలా అవుతుందంటే వాళ్ళకు ఒక్క ఎక్స్టెంట్ వరకు మనం సపోర్ట్ చేస్తే దే ఫీల్ హ్యాపీ, అబ్బా నాకు హెల్ప్ చేస్తున్నారు. తర్వాత వాళ్ళకు మనం ఎలా హెల్ప్ చేయాలి, మీరు చెయ్యండి నేను చూస్తాను, ఓకే మధ్య మధ్యలో హెల్ప్ అంటే వాళ్ళ దే లెర్నింగ్ బై డూయింగ్. అలా మనం వాళ్ళకు అలా వదిలేస్తే ఏమవుతుందంటే వాళ్ళలో కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ వస్తుంది, నేను చెయ్యగలను అని ఆ ఫీలింగ్ వస్తుంది. ఆ మనం ఇచ్చే మోటివేషన్ లో వాళ్ళకి ఏంటంటే ఆ ఇండిపెండెంట్ ఫ్యాక్టర్ అని తెలుసు, దే బికమ్ ఇండిపెండెంట్ ఇన్ దేర్ లైఫ్. అండ్ లెట్ మీ టెల్ యూ, బై గివింగ్ ఆల్ దీస్ ఫీలింగ్ అమాంగ్ ద చిల్డ్రన్, ద డిసబిలిటీ ఫ్యాక్టర్ కంప్లీట్లీ టేక్స్ అవే ఫ్రమ్ ద చైల్డ్. ఎక్కువగా సపోర్ట్ చేస్తే మనం అనుకుంటాం అబ్బా వాళ్ళ కాళ్ళు లేవు చేతులు లేవు ఇది అది వాళ్ళకి ఇలా ఉన్నాయి, వాళ్ళు దే హ్యావ్ సర్టెన్ డిసబిలిటీస్. మనం ఎక్కువ సపోర్ట్ చేస్తే వాళ్ళు దే ఫీల్ హ్యాపీ. ప్లీజ్ దట్ డోంట్ కీప్ దట్ ఇన్ యువర్ మైండ్. వాళ్ళ డిసబిలిటీని దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకొని మనం ఎక్కువగా హెల్ప్ చేస్తే వాళ్ళలో ఆ డిసబిలిటీ ఉంది అనే ఫీలింగ్ ఎక్కువగా ఇంకా వాళ్ళలో మనం ఇచ్చేస్తున్నాము, ఇంపోజ్ చేస్తున్నాము. డోంట్ డూ దాట్. టు సమ్ ఎక్స్టెంట్ వాళ్ళకి సపోర్ట్ చేసి తర్వాత నువ్వే చెయ్యి అని మనం వాళ్ళకి ఎంకరేజ్ చేస్తే ఆ వాళ్ళలో ఉండే డిసబిలిటీ ఫ్యాక్టర్ అనేది వాళ్ళకు దే ఫర్గెట్ అబౌట్ ఇట్. దే విల్ నాట్ రియలైజ్ దట్ దే ఆర్ డిసేబుల్డ్. బట్ ఇఫ్ యూ హెల్ప్ మోర్ అండ్ ఇఫ్ యూ కంప్లీట్ దేర్ వర్క్, then the disability factor among the disabled children, the feeling will be more. If you help more, the feeling will be more. If you help less, then the disability factor vanishes. Do you accept? Say yes or no, Baba. Today I am connecting through phone. This is a big nuisance. Okay. See. Shall I take next topic? Today my network problem has created problem. Stakeholders, should I start? Okay. I am not going in detail. I am only giving you the gist of all the topics, which is more than sufficient. Which is more than sufficient for you people to understand the concept. Okay. Okay. Then if that is the case, then tomorrow I will take stakeholders of inclusive education. Tomorrow I will finish off 3.1. Okay. Now Nitish. Now actually I think Nitish has shared his ideas regarding this children's program something. If I take my topic now, it will take more than half an hour. I don't want to stop in the middle. I think Nitish has actually suggested you to have some program on 10th or 11th exactly. I am not aware. Nitish, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Should I take, ma'am? It will be only for 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes only.
Yeah, take it. For that purpose, since actually I wanted to give you the chance. Because again tomorrow I will not be able to give you the chance, because tomorrow I want to take some important topic. Yeah, start.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, good afternoon everyone. I've recently gone through collaborative learning in one of the journal provided by our faculty member, like EduTracks. In EduTracks there is a one of the topic that was very awesome, like role of educational institutions in inculcating why should Indian schools adopt collaborative learning approach, like that. So collaborative learning was ఆ టాపిక్ నాకు చాలా మంచిగా అర్థమైంది అనమాట. ఎందుకంటే మనము ఇన్ని రోజుల నుంచి చేస్తుంది ఏంటి అంటే కొలాబరేటివ్ లెర్నింగే చేస్తున్నాము. సో ఇంకా దీనికి ఫర్దర్గా తీసుకుపోవడానికి నేను టీచర్స్ డే అప్పుడే ప్లాన్ చేసిన అనమాట. ఒక వెబ్సైట్ మన కాలేజ్కి సపరేట్గా మన బ్యాచ్ నుంచి ఒక వెబ్సైట్ ఉండాలి. అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం కొన్ని సోషల్ సైట్స్ కూడా ఉంటే ఇంకా బాగుంటుందని నేను చూసిన. సో ఆ సోషల్ సైట్స్ ఆల్రెడీ రెడీ అయిపోయినాయి. ఒక వెబ్సైట్ రెడీ అయిపోయింది, ఫేస్బుక్, ఇన్స్టాగ్రామ్ అండ్ యూట్యూబ్ ఆల్సో, యూట్యూబ్ ఛానల్ ఆల్సో. సో ఇవన్నీ రెడీ ఉన్నాయి ఆల్రెడీ. సో మనకు కావాల్సింది ఏంటి అంటే ఒక స్టూడెంట్ టీచర్ కోఆర్డినేటర్ పర్టికులర్ పేజ్కి హ్యాండిల్ చేసే వాళ్ళు ఉండాలి. సో ఇది దిస్ ఈజ్ అబౌట్ కొలాబరేటివ్ లెర్నింగ్. సో ఫర్దర్గా ఇప్పుడు ఏంటంటే ఈ సోషల్ సైట్స్ మనకి ఎట్లా ఉపయోగపడతాయి అంటే, ఒకవేళ మనము బీఎడ్ నుంచి వెళ్ళిపోయిన తర్వాత కూడా మనం కనెక్టెడ్ ఉంటామంటే ఈ సోషల్ సైట్స్ వల్లనే మనం కనెక్టెడ్ ఉండొచ్చు. అండ్ ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే దీంట్లో మన ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ కానీ మనం ఏమేమి చేసినా అవన్నీ దాంట్లో అప్లోడ్ చేస్తే మన ఫ్రెషర్స్కి, మనం రాబోయే బీఎడ్ ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ వాళ్ళకి యూనో రోల్ మోడల్ లాగా కావచ్చు. సో మనకు చూసి వాళ్ళు కూడా ఇంకా మంచి చేయడానికి ట్రై చేస్తారు. సో దట్ ఈజ్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ది అడ్వాంటేజ్ ఆఫ్ దట్ కొలాబరేటివ్ లెర్నింగ్ త్రూ సోషల్ సైట్స్. సో అది నెక్స్ట్. ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే రీసెంట్గా నాకు ఒక ప్లాన్ వచ్చింది, ఏంటంటే చిల్డ్రన్స్ డే ప్రోగ్రామ్ చేద్దాం మనం అందరము కలిసి. సో ఎందుకంటే మనము ఆల్రెడీ సైకాలజీలో చదివినాం చిల్డ్రన్స్ గురించి. సో ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే ఒక ఫ్యాన్సీ డ్రెస్ కాంపిటీషన్ కూడా మనం ఎవరెవరైతే వాళ్ళ చైల్డ్ నుంచి ఒక ఫ్యాన్సీ డ్రెస్ కాంపిటీషన్ ఒక ప్రోగ్రామ్ పెట్టవచ్చు. అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం మనం కూడా కొన్ని టాపిక్స్ తీసుకోవచ్చు. ఆ టాపిక్స్ వచ్చేసి ఏంటంటే చిల్డ్రన్స్ డే ఎందుకు జరుపుకుంటారు అదైతే తెలుసు మనకి, ఇంపార్టెన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఈచ్ స్టేజ్ ఆఫ్ చైల్డ్, నెక్స్ట్ గిఫ్టెడ్ చిల్డ్రన్ అరౌండ్ ద గ్లోబ్, నెక్స్ట్ స్టోరీ అబౌట్ ఎ చైల్డ్ హూ ఫేసెస్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఇండివిజువలీ అండ్ సోషలీ, and what we can learn from the life of children, and how parents, peers, society have an impact on child. అంటే వీళ్ళందరూ పేరెంట్స్ యొక్క ఇంపాక్ట్ చైల్డ్ పైన ఎట్లుంటుంది, పీర్స్ ఇంపాక్ట్ చైల్డ్ పైన ఎట్లుంటుంది, సొసైటీ యొక్క ఇంపాక్ట్ చైల్డ్ పైన ఎట్లుంటుంది. నెక్స్ట్ మళ్ళీ ఫైనల్గా మనము స్టూడెంట్ టీచర్ కాబట్టి వాట్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ హెల్ప్ వీ కెన్ ప్రొవైడ్ టు చిల్డ్రన్. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద ఫైనల్ కంక్లూజన్ పాయింట్ ఉంటుంది. సో ఇలా ప్లాన్ చేశాను. సో 10th లేకపోతే 11th రోజు మనము ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయొచ్చు దీనికి. సో ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే మనం టీచర్స్ డే అప్పుడు ఎవరెవరైతే పార్టిసిపేట్ చేశారో, సో వీ ఆల్ విల్ బీ బిహైండ్ ది ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్, చిల్డ్రన్స్ డే ప్రోగ్రామ్కి వెనకాల మనం ఉంటాము. అండ్ ఎవరైతే పార్టిసిపేట్ చేయలేరో వాళ్ళందరూ ముందుకు రావచ్చు. యూ ఆల్ కెన్ ఆల్సో పార్టిసిపేట్. సో దిస్ విల్ బీ వన్ ఆఫ్ ది ప్లాట్ఫామ్ టు ఇంప్రూవ్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్ అండ్ టు హ్యావ్ ఎన్ ఎమోషనల్ అటాచ్మెంట్ విత్ చిల్డ్రన్ యాజ్ వెల్. సో అలా మనము మన జర్నీని ముంగట ఫార్వర్డ్ తీసుకుపోవచ్చు అని నా అభిప్రాయము. So I would like to hear the feedback or else, any of the suggestion from your side or opinion from your side.
Nitish, is there any changes in the celebration of the day? Why? Because we have on 13th practical exams.
యా 10th రోజు లేకపోతే 11th రోజు మనము పెట్టుకోవచ్చు. సో 14th రోజు ఎట్లనే దివాళీ ఉంది. అండ్ 10th రోజు మార్నింగ్ ఎస్ఐఎం మ్యామ్ తోటి కూడా మాట్లాడినా. సో మోస్ట్ ప్రాబబ్లీ విల్ బీ కంప్లీటింగ్ ద పోర్షన్ బై బిఫోర్ 10th ఓన్లీ. సో 10th రోజు మనకి ఆ వేకెన్సీ ఇవ్వచ్చు మార్నింగ్. సో
Okay, we'll take others' opinion also whether they are comfort with that date.
yes. సుభాషిణి మ్యామ్, సంఘమిత్ర మ్యామ్, శ్రద్ధ మ్యామ్, లావణ్య మ్యామ్, తుల్జా మ్యామ్.
Nitesh will let you know through message because you have to give time to think now because అందరికి వీలు అవుతుందో లేదో మనకు తెలియదు. Just give 2 days time.
Yes, సంఘమిత్ర.
Let us keep this discussion open and let people give the feedback in our Indu group.
ఎస్ ఐల్ పోస్ట్ ఇట్ దెన్ పోస్ట్ చేస్తాను ఇవాళ. సో యా, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
ఓకే,
థ్యాంక్ యూ సంఘమిత్రం, థ్యాంక్ యూ శ్రద్ధ.
ఓకే నితేష్. హలో భవానీ, షిల్ వి